This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
"6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by J. Yogaraj and read by Ramesh Piris. Headlines. The distribution of domestic LP gas cylinders has commenced after close scrutiny and under strict conditions. Remains of Priyantha Kumara arrives in Sri Lanka from Pakistan. The funeral will take place tomorrow. Sri Lanka's daily count of COVID cases hits 741. Sri Lanka also confirms another 23 coronavirus deaths. The Sabagaskanda oil refinery, which was closed since last month, will restart operations again from today. Gas Lanka Limited has commenced the distribution of domestic LP gas cylinders. The applications are called for the students of some of the beneficiary families who have successfully passed GCE ordinary level. And in news overseas, US diplomats to boycott 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics. And in sports, India remains at number 1 spot in the ICC Test Championship rating. And now the local news in detail. Gas Lanka Limited has commenced the distribution of domestic LP gas cylinders. The Consumer Affairs Authority said that the new stock of LP gas cylinders can be identified by the polythene seal of the gas cylinder valves, which will carry a red logo on a white background. Following a discussion held yesterday with State Minister Lasantha Alagiyawanna, Gas Lanka Limited and Laugh Gas PLC, the two largest suppliers of LP gas in Sri Lanka, had agreed to resume the supply of domestic LP gas, conforming to the guidelines of the Consumer Affairs Authority. The Consumer Affairs Authority on December 4th gave its approval to release liquefied petroleum gas to the market under 3 conditions. A decision was taken to commence distribution of domestic gas with effect from yesterday under 3 conditions. The companies were instructed not to release previously imported LP gas stocks to the market, adding mercaptan to new stocks before they are released to the market, enabling the consumers to identify any leaks by its odorant, and testing 1 per every 100 gas cylinders during the manufacturing process, serializing and producing them to the CAA. The remains of Sri Lankan national Priyantha Kumara, who was lynched by a mob in Pakistan's Punjab province, reached the island yesterday. The body was repatriated on Monday, even as Pakistani authorities arrested most suspects involved in the grisly incident that shocked people across the world. The remains were airlifted by Sri Lankan Airlines flight UL 186 at 12:30 p.m. from Lahore and arrived at the BIA Katunayaka at 5 p.m. via UL 186 from Lahore. The remains will be handed over to his next of kin. At the BIA, the Foreign Ministry said the wooden coffin has the words "Human remains of late Don Nandasiri P. Kumara Devadanage from Lahore to Colombo" transcribed on it. A mob of over 800 men, including supporters of hardline Islamist party Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan, attacked a garment factory and lynched its general manager Priyantha Kumara Devadanage and set him on fire over allegations of blasphemy on Friday in the Sialkot district, some 100 kilometers from Lahore. The officials of the Sri Lankan High Commission arrived here early Monday morning, and the body was handed over to them at the Lahore airport by Punjab Minorities Minister Ijaz Alam. The body was transported on the Sri Lankan Airlines flight, a Punjab government official told PTI. Meanwhile, Punjab police claimed to have arrested 7 more prime suspects allegedly involved in the lynching of the 49-year-old Kumara. Some 15 prime suspects were presented before the anti-terrorism court in Kuranjpura on Monday, where they were remanded in police custody for 15 days. According to police, after brutally killing Kumara, the mob also wanted to kill the factory owner and set the building on fire. The Director General of Health Services has confirmed another 23 coronavirus-related deaths yesterday, raising the country's death toll to the COVID-19 pandemic to 14,484. The deaths reported today include 50 males and 8 female patients, while 3 of the deceased are between the ages of 30 and 59. The remaining 20 victims are in the age group of 60 years and above. The total number of COVID-19 recoveries in Sri Lanka has also risen to 542,688, while 10,533 infected patients are currently undergoing treatment island-wide. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Sri Lanka Insurance Motor Plus, the best option.
The Health Ministry reported that another 173 persons have tested positive for COVID-19 yesterday, increasing the daily count of new cases detected to 741. The coronavirus cases confirmed today includes 2 returnees from overseas, according to the epidemiology unit of the ministry. Sri Lanka's total count of COVID-19 cases reported climbs to 568,423. With this, while over 11,000 infected patients are currently undergoing treatment in the island. The Sabugastanda oil refinery, which was closed since last month, will restart again from today. Energy Minister Uday Gammampila said the oil refinery was temporarily closed on November 15th. The minister said that he promised to restart Sabugastanda oil refinery within 50 days on the day of closure. As promised, the restart of the refinery commenced today, which is the 22nd day of the closure, the minister added. Specialist Dr. Jude Jama pointed out that the Omicron variant is spreading rapidly in world countries. Therefore, Sri Lankans would be vigilant about these developments and take precautionary actions and follow health guidelines to prevent such spreads. There are 32 subvariants found under Omicron structure. Dr. Jude requests the general public to follow the COVID health guidelines strictly during the festive season. The Parliament will meet today at 9:30 a.m. Today is the 13th day of the committee stage debates of the budget proposals to 2022. The committee stage debate of few ministries will be held today in Parliament. Secretary General of Parliament Affairs Dhammika Dasanayake said the voting on third reading of the budget proposals will take place on Friday at 5 p.m. And that concludes local news.
In 200 meters, turn left.
This is not just my daily commute. I drive to power my nation's future. Sri Lanka Insurance Motor Plus introduces specialized motor insurance for you who drive our nation forward. Choose tailor-made insurance solutions. Up to 75,000 rupees claim settlements within 3 working hours. Exclusive discounts through Motor Plus loyalty rewards. Easy and 0% interest payment plans. Only from Sri Lanka Insurance.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Moving on to the main news story, the applications are called for the students of some of the beneficiary families who have successfully passed GCE ordinary level. The selected students will be awarded with a scholarship of 1,500 rupees and 24 months under SIP DORA scholarship scheme. The Ministry of Education implements this work plan for the year 2021 to 2023. The deadline for the applications is extended till February next year due to the COVID-19 pandemic situation. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Life is brought to you by
Tertiary and Vocational Education Commission.
Health authorities have requested the public to follow health guidelines strictly as the corona infections crossed 700 mark for the last few weeks. Director General of the Health Services Dr. Asela Gunawardena said that it is a high risk for the public to get involved with large gatherings or get-togethers. He requested the public to refrain from travelling between the provinces. He pointed out that 600 to 750 coronavirus patients are still being reported daily from the country. Therefore, he emphasized that the pandemic can spread rapidly again if the public act irresponsibly. Meanwhile, the health authorities request the public to get vaccinated at the first possible opportunity. They say the main way of controlling the spread of the virus is vaccination. The vaccination process carried out island-wide at present. According to the epidemiology unit report, so far, a total of 15,943,166 people have received a first dose of COVID-19 vaccine and 13,766,200 have received the second dose. In addition, 946,051 have received the third booster dose. And that came to you in Watchlight.
If you follow technical and vocational education and training courses, select a course registered and accredited institute by TVEC. Be aware on unregistered institutes which are promoting without having registration. Visit www.tvec.gov.lk for more information. Message from Tertiary and Vocational Education Commission.
Coming up, World News.
Moving on to a bulletin of world news. First, the headlines. U.S. diplomats to boycott 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics. Ghislaine Maxwell gave schoolgirl outfit to Epstein victims. Drug targets for prisoners in England and Wales. Now the world news in detail. The US has announced a diplomatic boycott of the 2022 Winter Olympics in Beijing, China. The White House said no official delegation would be sent to the Games because of concerns about China's human rights record. But it said US athletes could attend would have the government's full support. China has previously said it will take resolute countermeasures in the event of a boycott. A British woman has testified in court that socialite Ghislaine Maxwell asked her to find cute young pretty girls for pedophile tycoon Jeffrey Epstein. Miss Maxwell, aged 59, is accused of grooming teenage girls for abuse by the late Epstein between 1994 and 2004. She has pleaded not guilty to all the charges. The accuser recounted how the socialite befriended her at the age of 17 and often pressured her into fun. And finally, in world news, jails in England and Wales will be the targets for the first time to keep out drugs under prison reform proposals. The plans in the government white paper proposals for future laws include assessing every new inmate for drug addiction upon arrival. Ministers said the stringent targets will hold prison governance to account. The plan is closely tied to Monday's announcement of an attempt to rebuild drug treatment programs in England and Wales after years of cuts. To end the world news, headlines once again. US diplomats to boycott 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics. Ghislaine Maxwell gave schoolgirl outfit to Epstein victim. Drug targets for prisons in England and Wales. And that ends world news.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take all out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070-400-1928.
Moving on to development news. A local survey says the use of organic fertilizers by the traditional farmers has increased in the recent past. Professor Priyantha Yapa said the farmers are slowly getting used to the organic farming methods even under difficult circumstances. Meanwhile, the use of chemical or organic fertilizers has dropped during the last few months. And that was Development News.
Development News was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070-400-1928.
Moving on with sports news.
In sports, it's cricket. India still remains at number 1 spot at the ICC Test Cricket Championship rankings. New Zealand is placed second and Australia is placed at the 3rd position. Sri Lanka stands at 7th position. The position is expected to be revised after taking the recent Test Series victory against West Indies. And that was sports news.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency through NSB U Trust for 6 months consecutively. Send more money and increase the chances of winning.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Atkins Spence was on a winning streak yet again at the Best Corporate Citizen Sustainability Award 2021. Winning the highest number of awards, the company demonstrated their leadership, continuous commitment and drive to pioneer the corporate sustainability movement in Sri Lanka. The company was also the recipient of the highest number of certificate awards for the consistent commitment and continuous improvement, which goes to show the robust sustainability strategy and unparalleled commitment to sustainability from its teams across the diversified group, even during extremely challenging times. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 co-sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners.
Economic news, courtesy of
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Sri Lankan Airlines resumed operations to Gan Islands in Adu Atoll in Maldives from December 4th. Sri Lankan will operate weekly with flights UL 119 departing every Saturday from Colombo to Gan, which would return from Gan on the same day. Gan offers a distinct off-the-beat path experience to visitors. In December 2016, Sri Lankan became the first and only international carrier to operate direct flights to Gan, allowing travellers to fly direct to the island and save on time and money otherwise spent if travelling via Mali. Mali and Gan have been the two most preferred holiday destinations in Sri Lanka's network for luxury holiday travellers from Europe, the Middle East and the Far East. The airline was compelled to cease operations to Gan temporarily in March 2020 with the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, but will reclaim its title as the only international carrier to fly direct to Gan with the resumption of flights this December. And that was Economic News.
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
This is the weather report.
Finally, on to the weather report. The Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur at a few places in the western, Sabaragamuwa and central provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts during the evening or night. Mainly fair weather will prevail elsewhere. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the Sabaragamuwa, central and Uva provinces during the morning. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. This weather report was published this morning at 4:30 a.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. And to end this news broadcast, a recap of the main news headlines. The distribution of domestic LP gas cylinders has commenced after close scrutiny and under strict conditions. Remains of Priyantha Kumara arrives in Sri Lanka from Pakistan. The funeral will take place tomorrow. Sri Lanka's daily COVID count hits 741. Sri Lanka also confirms another 23 coronavirus deaths. The Sapugaskanda oil refinery, which was closed since last month, will restart operations again from today. Litrogas Lanka Limited has commenced the distribution of domestic LP gas cylinders. The applications are called for the students of some of the beneficiary families who have successfully passed GCE ordinary level. In news overseas, US diplomats to boycott 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics. And in sports, it's cricket. India remains at number 1 spot in the ICC Test Championship rating. And with that, we conclude this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.